Aston Adam Andaya, a man of God from the heart of Congo, was granted a vision. He saw the glorious gate of heavens. Angels guarded its entrance. They sang praises to the Almighty. Aston saw many souls approaching. They longed to enter into eternal bliss. Aston watched as the souls drew near. He noticed something peculiar. There were many men, their faces shining with faith, but the women were far fewer. This puzzled Aston. He knew that women filled the churches on earth. They were often the most devout. Why then were so few permitted into heaven? Aston sought understanding, the adornments above spiritual purity. This, they explained, hindered their entry into the kingdom. Aston's heart sank. He knew the women in his own life. They were mothers, sisters, daughters. They were often the backbone of the church. They prayed with fervor. They sang with joy. But were their hearts truly free from the pull of worldly things? The angels showed Aston more. He saw the consequences of clinging to vanity. It was a heavy burden. It weighed down the soul. It kept them tethered to earthly desires. Women, they explained, often struggled to let go. They found solace in appearances. They sought validation in fleeting trends. This attachment to the material, the angels declared, was a dangerous snare. It blinded them to the true riches of heaven. It kept them from fully surrendering to God's will. Aston watched as souls, laden with the weight of their worldly desires, were turned away from the gate. Aston was deeply troubled. He knew he had to share this vision. He had to warn his sisters in Christ. The path to salvation was narrow. It demanded a purity of heart. It required a detachment from the things of this world. Aston knew the allure of worldly things. He had seen it in his own life. The desire for fine clothes, for sparkling jewels, for appearances that drew praise. But these things, he now understood, were fleeting. They held no value in the eyes of God. The angels pointed to the women approaching the gate. Some were adorned in fine silks and jewels. Their hair was styled in elaborate fashions. They moved with an air of confidence, their eyes sparkling with pride. But as they drew closer to the gate, their confidence wavered. Aston watched as these women were gently but firmly turned away. They pleaded for entrance. They proclaimed their devotion to God. But the angels shook their heads. Their hearts, they declared, were still chained to the vanities of the world. They had not yet learned the true meaning of humility and sacrifice. Aston saw the anguish on their faces. He felt their despair. He knew that their attachment to worldly things had cost them dearly. They had traded eternal glory for fleeting pleasures, and now it was too late. One woman in particular caught Aston's eye. She was young and beautiful, adorned in a stunning gown. Her hair was a masterpiece, piled high upon her head. Jewels sparkled at her ears, neck, and fingers. She moved with a grace that drew all eyes to her. She approached the gate confidently, a radiant smile upon her lips. She had lived a good life, she believed. She had attended church, tithed regularly, and helped those in need. Surely, she thought, this would be enough to grant her entry into heaven. But as she drew closer, the angels guarding the gate grew stern. They looked beyond her outward appearance into the depths of her heart. And there, they saw the truth. Her heart was heavy with pride. Her thoughts were consumed with vanity. Her love for God was overshadowed by her love for the things of this world. "Turn back, daughter," one of the angels boomed, his voice echoing with sadness. "You have adorned your body, but neglected your soul. Your heart is not pure. You have placed your trust in fleeting things, forgetting the eternal treasures that await those who truly love the Lord." They revealed to him the struggles of many women. They clung to the